Go Power Rankings. Wow, wow, Go Power Rankings. My name of the Power. Oh, there, I lost it. My name of the Power Rankings. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. You're not watching an episode of Power Rangers. The song would have been better. This is actually the Daily Grind, and I got Rusty with me today. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. That song was going great until it wasn't. It just kind of fell off the cliff there.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was kind of rocky with it, and then it was just like a train wreck there towards the end, and I'm like,
I think I saw myself, and then I was like, oh, nope, bad. Well, other than that awful song, things are going pretty well over in Grizzlies land. We got the NBA dropped their latest power rankings, and this was, I guess, roughly a quarter of the way into the season. We got a nice little hiatus happening right now because of the NBA Cup and other things. But the Grizzlies are ranked a whopping 5th in the power rankings, which is, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that we would be considered the 5th best team in the league, would be second in the West, and we would not have to fool with any of these extra games, I'd be a pretty happy camper, all things considered, especially when you look at the teams that are above us. Well, how about this? Do you think 5 is an acceptable place to have us, or would you put us higher? For context, the teams, for those of you who haven't checked this out, the teams that are ahead of us are Cleveland, Boston, OKC, and the Mavericks in that order.
I think 5th, given health, given what all we've been through this year, feels pretty appropriate right now. Although we did just beat the number 2 team on that list. I mean, I'm just saying right before this list came out, I'm just saying. But I think based on who's ahead of us and how the season's going so far, right, we've lost to the Mavericks. I mean, the Cavs have been the best team in the league all year long. They're like 21-4 now. I mean,
really good.
Their record. And so I think it's very appropriate. We've got an opportunity to move up. We've got games with Dallas coming up, and we don't play OKC for a little while, but we've got opportunities ahead of us. I just think like our 5th ranking is, to me, and maybe this is some Beale Street blue colored glasses, is a bit more impressive given the injuries that we've already had this year, given what we've already gone through with a new offense and new coaching staff turnover, adding in essentially new players, and Marcus Smart, and because he played like 8 games last year, and Zach Edey, and the things we've done. I feel good about it, and I think it feels kind of appropriate for now.
I agree with you. I mean, when you look at the teams that are ahead of them, Boston won the championship last year. Mavericks were in the championship last year. And then you have Cleveland and OKC. OKC made it to the second round, and Cleveland made it to the second round. Or did they? Yeah, they got beat by Boston. And so you're looking at 4 teams that made it to the second round of the playoffs last year. And that's good company to keep.
And all of those teams are healthy right now. Like Boston just got healthy. OKC is missing Chet. Other than that, they're a healthy team. Dallas has everybody. Like, these teams aren't missing players like we are. Like, we're in 5th place, and what are we? We're 17-8, and we have played a large portion of our season without Ja Morant, without Desmond Bane, without Gigi, without Vince, without a lot of guys that come March and April, knock on wood, given health, are going to be significant contributors to a playoff-bound team. And so I think like we're only going to get better. I feel like 5th, I don't. You know what? Screw it. We ain't jinxing nothing. I feel like 5th is going to be our floor from here on out. As we get healthier and better, I think we're just going to climb up this ranking.
I agree. We can be called homers, but when you look at what they're doing, like you said, injuries, new coaching staff, I feel like is something that all these other teams have kind of returned. I could be wrong, but I don't think any of these guys have like not as much overturn as we did. I mean, we did everybody but 2 guys, like lots of new pieces coming into this season, and to be 5th is awesome. And we we played the Mavericks really well in that loss,
if the whistle doesn't tighten on one end and loosen on the other, we win that game. If there's some adjustments made in the rotations, we win that game. Luke, we're sitting here talking about this, and we're doing all this with a rookie starting at the wing, like that nobody saw coming. That not only a rookie, but like the 39th, no, it was lower than that. Like he was like in the 40s. Like a rookie, a late second round rookie is our starting wing and playing good minutes. Now, when he's played better competition, he struggled, but because he's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Like he's still getting quality minutes as a rookie on our wing. And so like this team is built for success, and we ain't even got our best pieces yet. Because like, there's going to be a world where we're going to run out of lineup at some point. I feel like, and there may not be any defense on this, but Ja, Dez, Gigi, Jaren, BC, and like, we're like, good luck with that.
Yep. I mean, shout out Art too. If we could be higher than this, like
healthy, we could be right there with the Cavs. Like, I have no art because, and that's not just being a homer. Because if you look at our schedule, it's been very, very manageable so far. It's been an easy schedule. We've benefited from like the 28th or 29th ranked schedule in the league. Like, we haven't played that many playoff teams, Dallas and Boston, and then a beat up Lakers team and Golden State who doesn't know who they are. They lost last night to Houston. We'll get to that more here in a minute.
Yeah.
But like, if we were fully healthy with Vince and Gigi and everybody, like, we'd be top 2.
Yep.
Probably not number 2.
No, I would put us, I like Boston, us, Cleveland, us. Like, I think that we are up there. I mean, it might be a homer. I mean, I'm not going to pull for OKC. I get that they have a good team, but seeing that they're doing everything that we did.
That's it. They are literally the great value Grizz. 100%.
It's really difficult to want to root for them, even when you don't want to root for anything. Like, it's just tough when you're like, we did this year. It's a little hard.
And SGA is just further and further growing on my nerves grinding on my nerves because he plays like Luka. He plays like James Harden with that foul hunting mess that we do not do. And we just go out and beat you up and play good basketball.
Man, I think
and OKC.
Yeah, we're with you. I think I heard something last night that said like SGA is I think he's first in unassisted baskets too. Like, is that fun to play with? I don't know.
It's not fun to watch either. Like,
not fun to watch.
Drew and I talked the other day, like, it's not fun to watch a team just huck a bunch of threes. Boston shot 60 threes on Saturday. It's not fun to watch one guy getting to the rim and only being the one shooting. Like, I'm a basketball purist. I love watching good hoops and good basketball. And the Grizzlies are fun to watch with the way we move the ball. Yes, we turn it over at a higher rate this year than we have in years past, but that's part of this motion offense and getting the bugs worked out. But it's still more fun basketball to watch than the great value Grizz out there. Yeah, well, and you said what I think like is the best thing that we could say about this is we're still trying to figure out the kinks in this system. And if those turnovers, I imagine, knock on wood, are going to diminish. Yeah, they have to as people get more comfortable. And if those go down, shoot, like this offense is already, I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but like we were top 5 in offense and defensive efficiency there for a second. I don't know if we still are. We're top. I think we're like 5th in offense and 7th in defense. We're like one of the only teams both in top 10. We're the only team in the top 10 in both. We're averaging 126 points per game. And like, that's without our best pieces or a trade that we may make that could like there's a chance that could go up, getting some of these offensive pieces back.
There's a chance for both those to go up.
Absolutely. Based on if a trade comes back or if we don't make a trade, we've got 2 really good wings at home. Gigi can score. Vince can defend. Who's to say we don't get better?
Yep. I completely agree. I'm excited to see quarter of the way into the season. I'm feeling pretty good. And feeling ain't mad at it and ain't mad at it despite missing the NBA Cup, which the transfer a little bit over that. The lat transition. What am I talking about? The knockout rounds officially they have ended. They're done, which now we're going to Vegas. Now is when the rubber meets the road, so to speak. This is when it's kind of, I mean, these games were exciting, but now is where I think everybody's going to be tuning into these games. Now we are going to have the Atlanta Hawks versus the Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Houston Rockets.
Which is exactly how everybody saw this cup playing out at the beginning of the year.
Yep. It's like the 2 upstart, like for the West, those are 2 teams that could really quote unquote, benefit from that style, that atmosphere. I mean, Houston has never tasted it before. This is going to be good for them. OKC, whatever. Am I going to watch this game? Maybe not. I don't like OKC. I like watching the Rockets. Okay. Their defense is awesome to watch. I'm more interested in the East side of the bracket because I love watching Trae Young play this mean villain. I love it. And the way Giannis is playing right now is out of his mind. I'm with you, Wayno. Watching him throw dice, I love it. I love that he's the ultimate heel. I'm glad that I don't have to root for him, but I don't know. I'm excited to watch Trae versus Giannis more than I am SGA versus all the Rocket boys.
All the myriad of Rocket players that are going to play, right? A couple things like the Knicks are struggling, man, like to find their rhythm. And a certain small in stature co-host of mine lambasted me for saying that, hey, Cat may not just be a seamless fit here, and he blew up. No, he's the best. He's gonna make them so much better. They're a top team in the NBA now. I'm like, it's gonna struggle a little bit. Cat's been awesome, but that team just can't find a rhythm with all those guys, a lot of mouths to feed, and the Knicks are kind of struggling. Like there's in a group chat I was in last night, an F word was thrown out.
Ooh.
Frauds. Anyway,
this is a children's show. This is a children's show.
The Knicks are something, but man, like again, like I don't think anybody even like 3 weeks ago, a month ago would have said, yeah, I think the Hawks and the Bucks are going to be the two teams on the Eastern side coming out, right? Like that's wow.
I hammered the over on the Hawks at the beginning of the season.
You did. I do remember that when we talked about that early season.
But I don't feel good about it. I think with this, do you think the NBA is happy about this outcome? Because
no, I think maybe on the West, they probably would have wanted like OKC, Golden State, but at least they got OKC, who appears to be one of their darlings now all of a sudden. I think the West, maybe the East a little bit because of two of the superstars, but they wanted Boston and New York. They didn't want some.
I think that if the league could call the officiating yesterday and be like, hey, we need the Warriors to. I think they wanted the Warriors in it, and I mean,
and it was a kooky ending to that game. Did you see some of that? Like down the stretch, that was kind of kooky.
The ending of that game was. Yeah. Look, I'm never going to complain when I see Steve Kerr with his arm outstretched, looking confused on the sideline, but it was kooky. Kooky is a good word for it because it felt like something went wrong in how it was supposed to end, and they were like, "Oh crap!"
We blew the whistle on the wrong end, and then Jalen Green knocks down those free throws to win the game, and it's like, okay, I guess we're in this thing now.
Yep.
Yeah, man, and I like Houston's coach. I think they've got he's got some swagger. Ime Udoka, he's got some swagger, got a chip on his shoulder, and so I'm kind of here. Like I'm with Art now. Like I want an Atlanta OKC final, and then I want like the Trae Young Ja comparisons are goofy, and they always were. Yeah. Like Ja is head and shoulders better than him, and head and shoulders taller too. But that's another conversation. But I hope that this is what happens, and the Hawks put 150 on him, like just bury him.
It would be so sweet because there's nothing more than I want than to see. Than for everyone else to see this OKC team lose on a grand scale.
Absolutely. And just like epically too, like Trae Young go for a 50 piece, DeAndre Hunter go for 48 and hit like 10 threes, just like absolutely bury them. But I would buy DeAndre Hunter jersey if that happened.
The Hawks will be our East team if that happens, because I just don't.
Yeah. And I'm all in on the Magic, but I would gladly move a little further north if they just bury OKC.
No question. And, call us petty, call us Tom Petty, but I'm just not. I want to see OKC get beat. I want to see him get beat.
You look more like Tom Petty than I do, though.
Thank you.
With the long locks.
Tom Petty. That's not how Tom Petty. That's not how he sounds.
Like even flow Pearl Jam there.
Whatever. It's better. Anyway. God, I'm off track. So, like, when is the fight? Is it next week? The last?
The semis are Saturday, and I think the finals are Monday, maybe.
Cool. So, a week from now, the NBA Cup will be over, and someone will win it, and maybe they'll fly a banner. It's nice that the Grizzlies don't have to fly a banner, don't have to worry about that. I'm pretty excited about it.
Honestly, to put kind of a bow on it, I guess, like it's nice. It would have been nice to be playing for the NBA Cup for the recognition, but I think like Desmond Bane especially needed this week off to let his back get healthy. Maybe this is a week that lets Edie get a little bit more healthy. Like Ja gets more healthy with his hip and knee, like gives opportunity for guys to get some rest. And then, but like we can't come out, no pun intended here. We can't come out rusty on Friday because Brooklyn has jumped up and bit us twice now. And we have no business losing that, though it could be a tryout for some future Grizzly players, but like we have no business losing that game at home on Friday night.
No. And oh God, I don't even want to entertain it. If that's a game that coming off of how they closed last week, like they need to win that game. It's like you said, Brooklyn has snuck up on them already this season. They need to win that game to show that they're serious. Like all this conversation is all for not talking about how the Grizzlies deserve to be 5th in the power rankings or higher. It doesn't mean anything if they're not taking it seriously and they come out and they blow that game. I would be upset.
Highly upset. My feelings would be hurt.
Yep.
I'd be playing a lot of Bryan Adams and being sad and just being like we have no business losing that game, man.
Nope.
No business.
And you know what? Hopefully we're not manifesting it. We're gonna win that game.
No, we're gonna win that game convincingly. We're gonna beat the brakes off of Brooklyn, man.
Yep.
But the Zaire revenge game coming back is gonna be brutal.
God, Zaire revenge game. Anyway, so this is something that you just mentioned it briefly. We're talking about how this Brooklyn team, they're coming to town. They might have a couple pieces that you were interested in. We're going to today and tomorrow, and maybe in the next week, we're going to do this series where trade rumors are circling around, and there's lots of people that are Brooklyn has a bunch of people that everyone's interested in. I'm interested in a lot of guys from that. You and I have talked at length about Cam Johnson, about DFS. Specifically today, I want to talk to you about one Herbert Jones. Herbert. Because Herbert, a report yesterday. I don't know if I'm Bovada. I don't know. This was Bovada. This was on Sports Illustrated. It's a betting site. I don't know. Bovada. Check it out. They had odds currently because the Pelicans are in tank mode. They are, well, maybe not in tank mode. They are just bad. They're riddled with injuries. Nobody's playing for them. Nobody good. They're just a mess right now. Word's going around that teams are interested in Herb Jones. Currently, the Memphis Grizzlies are at a plus 400 odds to potentially land Herb Jones. So my question for you is, would you make that trade? Would you trade for Herb Jones? And if you would, who would you be willing to give up?
So word on the street that I've heard through some sources is that they really covet Santi. They think Santi is a good player, fits their offense, could be somebody they can help build. They can help them build something down there around DeJounte Murray and some of the younger guys that they have. Listen, if they called and we could get like Santi plus I don't know, Jake or, a couple fringe players. I wouldn't give up Marcus Smart. I would entertain Luke Kennard because there's not really a place for him on this team. But if you could do if you could get Herb Jones for Luke and Santi, absolutely, I would trade for Herb tomorrow. That defense, a lineup of of Jalen at the 2, Herb at the 3, Jaren at the 4, BC at the 5, Reedy at the 5. That is a murderer's row of defense. Herb is not the best offensive player. He's got a decent offensive game, but he'll put the clamps on people, man. And it'll be like the old grit and grind Grizzlies, which have surfaced a lot this week with the clip. I'm sure you saw it of Jaren, Zebo, and Tony talking, which we'll talk about that later, getting sidetracked. But yes, absolutely would trade for Herb Jones.
Well, and it's interesting that he's not making he's on a great contract. He's on 4 years, $53 million. He's on the second year of it. I think next year he's due to make $13 million. That's a gettable.
It's a good deal, man. Especially for his services. I'm telling you, man, Herb Jones is Art. I think Art nailed it. Yeah. Right there. Good luck. Herb Jones has Grizzly written all over him. He does the little things well. He does the hustle plays really well. He rebounds his tail off. He defends at a high level. And or a lineup of with Vince Williams Jr. and Herb Jones in the backcourt, good freaking luck, man. That's two guys that are going to enjoy putting the clamps on your favorite player.
If you're able to get one piece, the piece that is a Herb Jones, who isn't a superstar, where you're not really going to have to subtract from the big three, but you're adding you are that's too, you're going to have offensive and defensively, you are going to have so many options to throw at any sort of any lineup you see. You will have options, and we've got guys that we can lose. You've got Luke, you've got Santi, you've got Jake. There's players that you can move without losing a lot, and to add a guy like Herb Jones.
And what if I told you that we could get Herb Jones and make another move? Right? You think about it, if we can move Herb, if we could get Herb for, say, Santi and Luke are expiring contracts, which teams love. But again, the Pelicans are apparently high on Santi. So say they take both of those. They cut Luke, let him go. They re-sign Santi. Doesn't matter. I don't care at that point. We have Herb Jones. But then you can turn around and turn like a Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, a couple other pieces and some draft capital into another player like a Cam Jones or another package that came out of Brooklyn that I might like a little better. But anyway, like there's opportunities that you could get Herb Jones relatively cheap and make another move if you desire. Also, if this was the move that we made, I still think this makes us a better basketball team and pushes us closer to the ultimate goal of playing basketball in June.
I completely agree. If there was a way for this Grizzlies team, and it's not even this isn't necessary for the Grizzlies to succeed. It's just they could be better than they are. It's like they're already excellent. Why not be more excellent? And it's like there's the option sitting there where they could potentially trade 2-for-1 to get a better defensive guy and 2-for-1 to get a better offensive guy. And if you can add a supplemental offensive and a supplemental defensive guy and clear out some space in the rotation, like success.
Like, again, a starting lineup of Ja, Dez, Cam Johnson, Jaren, BC, followed up by a second lineup of Pip, Vince, Herb. Santi's probably gone at that point. Edie, you can roll James on the floor, Jay Huff. Like you got these guys that you could make away. Like, goodness, like that's a 8-9 man rotation that is brutal, son.
Yep.
Brutal.
Yep. And shout Daniel Greer. The Pelicans are looking to grow their bench for upcoming seasons.
We got plenty of that, brother.
Come on.
You want to grow your bench? You send us Herb Jones. We'll give you Jake LaRavia, Santi Aldama. Grow your bench, man. You need shooting. We'll send you Luke Kennard and Santi Aldama. But apparently, the word is that they're high on Santi, and so I love Santi. I know Wayno. He has a huge poster of Santi in his bedroom. He's the captain of the Santi fan club, so he would hate to see him go. We'd have to do a special morning episode, MORNIG and MOURNING episend for a Wayno for sure.
and we would burn my Santi jersey live on camera.
Live on there. I'd wear all black, like I'd put my tux on, man, my tie on and everything.
Yep. So I would make that trade in a heartbeat. And I know we're circling around Brooklyn. We play Brooklyn tomorrow. It's tomorrow, Friday. We play Brooklyn tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to talk. We're going to talk Brooklyn because there's
two really good options there. Like they've announced on the twitter.com that there are two different packages that if we made either one of them,
either or,
I'd be really happy. But today is all about the Pelicans and one Herbert Jones. Come on, man. He's got Grizzly written all freaking over him. The way he plays, he hustles. I've always loved his game. Like he is a Grizzlies Grizzly for sure.
And if a guy named Herb,
oh my God,
it's hilarious.
Yeah. I've always thought like I've grown up, I wanted a Bulldog, and Mississippi State fan kind of wanted a Bulldog, and I've always thought like it'd be a great Bulldog name, Herbert.
Herbert. Come on,
Herbert the Bulldog. Come on, Herb, get your butt over here.
That's so good.
The last thing about Herb Jones, just go ahead and throw up the Dave Chappelle gif of him as Rick James going, "Come on, brother. Come on."
Oh, man. No doubt. Would you make that trade? Yeah, that's the gift. Would you make that trade? Yep. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, I'm cheating. I got tubing Thursdays because I know we didn't get to tube on Tuesday, so we're tubing on Thursday.
Let's go.
We'll do that right after this break.
I think Zach Edey played well. He got his fouls in. He got him in for sure. But we saw some flashes of really what he can do. Whether that's setting screens or just whether blocking shots or just making guys change their mind about shots. So just affecting the quality of shots that guys were getting in the game. We saw that a lot. They gotta use him though, man. They gotta be able to find him a little bit.
I was about to say they especially the whole first quarter. It was like because I think that lob that y'all had him, that was his first points of the game. So it was like the whole first quarter, I did peep that. It was like, I see everybody else attempting 5+ shots.
Right.
Y'all got to find a way to give Zach Edey something like at some point. Everything was running well last night, right? The offense was flowing well. It's going to come a stretch of time where they're going to be stagnant. And at that time, that's when I expect them, okay, hey, let's run the post play to Zach Edey.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This is a question I don't know if you've ever been asked. Was there anyone you ever wanted to dunk on? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you haven't getting a big kick out of that one. I'm glad you've been waiting all day for that. Just waiting all day to get that little jokey joke in. Oh, you got a joke. But yeah, I always wanted to dunk in the game. That's what I wanted to do. And it didn't have to be on anybody. I wanted it to be off of a missed shot, like on an offensive rebound, so that everyone's around or in the vicinity when it happened.
Did you ever dunk in practice and get overly excited?
Yes. and everybody be like, well, are you going to do it in a game? I'm like, no.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. You can catch that show, Night Court Podcast. It's every Wednesday. You can catch the Anthony Sane Show, that broadcast every Wednesday and Friday at noon. I almost said Monday and Friday. That's not real. Ignore that. The No Bluffing is typically on Mondays earlier in the week. We got Grizz After Dark drop sometimes after Grizz 901 Live, which is every weekday game afterwards. And then Two Buck Sports Show live Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. Noon hour.
Spend your lunch break with us today. Come on, boys and gals. Hop in. Let's go.
It's going to be great. And you can catch all this bluffcitymedia.co. I can type. But back to our show. So on this show, typically on Tuesdays, it's not Tuesday. Let me, today is Thursday. You're not losing your mind. On Tuesdays, we tube around here, but we didn't get to tube this Tuesday because technical difficulties. There was no tubing happening for anybody. And so we are going to tube on Thursday today because it's my show and I can do what I want. So today I can go first. What I have been watching, I've of course been getting my Christmas movies in. I watched Christmas Vacation 2 nights ago. Love it. It's just one of the best. When Eddie goes, falls in a well, I go cross, mule kicks her in the head, the eye comes uncrossed. Darndest thing. It's just so stupid and so
stupid and funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
But I have been watching, this is a new show I've been watching because I wanted to find good Christmas episodes of shows to watch. And Kyla, my partner, she told me about Abbott Elementary. And so I have been watching Abbott Elementary. It's very much like The Office, like Parks and Recreation, but it's in an elementary school in Philadelphia. And it is hilarious. It's like, it's so funny. If you like The Office, you would definitely like it because it's just that, but in an elementary school. Cool. And really, really, and it's in Philly. So there's like Philly jokes. So I would recommend that if you're looking for something that's heartwarming, but also funny, check out Abbott Elementary. It's really good.
Yeah, I have to check that out. And Wayno, I like your request. This made me laugh, man. Do silent films in honor of the last show. That's pretty good. That made me laugh. That's why I was over chuckling.
I don't know any. Charlie. Oh, that's not true. I can name a Charlie Chaplin one, but
Charlie Chaplin, like I could just mime the rest. Anyway, so we're full on Christmas spirit over here. We have watched the Santa Claus. Where Tim Allen commits, negligent homicide, voluntary manslaughter, and then assumes the identity, so fraud. He hides a body, so like there's a lot of criminal charges in that movie.
It is an awful divorce movie.
It is kidnapping because he just yoinks his kid on Christmas Eve and flies him around the world, and like I guess it's just straight up like it's a crime movie. If you think about it, it's like The Godfather and the Santa Claus are like in the same vein, like crime movies.
You said it first.
I mean, like, does that make The Godfather a Christmas movie too? Anyway, I was talking about this last night. We were looking for Maggie was scrolling through looking for Christmas movies, and there's all these movies that are just set around the holidays that are not Christmas movies. Like it's cute to say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, but it's not. Anyway, we watched Home Alone. Kevin Malone and just like absolutely crushing his opponents.
The Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits. And then the second one, they're the Sticky Bandits. But
I love them, dude.
Yeah. We're saving Home Alone 2 and Santa Claus 2 for closer to Christmas. We're going to watch Christmas Vacation on Christmas Day. But last night we almost finished. We'll have to finish it up. We watched Dear Santa. I've talked about it before in here with
Yeah,
Jack Black.
yeah.
It's so funny, man.
Very
Check
funny.
it out. It's very funny. It's Jack Black is Satan, and that's all I want to say. He's hilarious in that role, man.
It's I big Jack Black fan, and the fact that he just energy in everything he does.
Absolutely,
and I love
absolutely. And it's full on Jack Black. I do want to watch. Wayno mentioned Red One. It just came out today with The Rock, and I love anything J.K. Simmons is in. He's just like one of my favorite, just like niche actors. It's like the movie with him and the guy from
Whiplash.
Yes, the drum. I freaking love that movie, man. One of my whoa, that's such a good movie.
That movie
so
gives you
intense.
anxiety.
That's it. Like my pulse rate right now is going up. Like that movie gives me I love it, man. It's so intense. But check out Dear Santa. I want to watch Red One. Check out Dear Santa. It's really funny.
Yeah. Oh man, we also shout out Wayno. We might have to do an episode where we do underrated Christmas movies because Gremlins is great. Gremlins is really good, and it takes place in Christmas too.
Give them water at night.
Don't get them wet. Don't feed them. I do that with my 13-year-old at home. Don't feed them after dark. Don't get them wet, and you're fine. That's gonna do it for our show today. Before I just talk about how my son is a gremlin. Thank you for watching. Art, Wayno, DG. Thanks everybody for watching the show, y'all. It's great. Makes my day better starting it out with you guys. Seriously, thank you all for watching with us. Have great days today. If you're going to work, be good. Stay warm. We'll be back tomorrow. Grizzlies play tomorrow, so we'll have something to talk about. If I can leave you with anything today, just remember these two little things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. And remember to smile. Bye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.